After 9 months of training for my first 70.3, I crossed the finish line in 4 hours and 47 minutes. I gave everything I had, and honestly, maybe a little too much. Near the end of my build, I was constantly fatigued. Libido dropped, sleep got worse, and my blood work showed signs of low testosterone. I was hitting some real signs of overtraining, and that, to me, was a wake-up call. So, now I'm entering a crucial phase, the off-season. And the goal, not just to maintain fitness, but to rebuild, to come back faster, stronger, and more durable for the next season without burning out again. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I'm approaching these next 12 to 16 weeks. The training structure, strength work, and how I'll keep speed and endurance both sharp without digging myself into a hole again. So, let's get into it. One of the biggest things I've neglected so far in triathlon is strength and power. Personally, I've always gravitated towards long and steady training, ultimately because that's what endurance sports rewards. But I've noticed it's left me that short, explosive power output, and over time, I think this is catching up with me. The truth is, muscle mass matters, not just for performance and power, but for injury prevention, efficiency, and long-term health. And it's easiest to build when you are younger, which is why it's now the perfect time for me to focus on it. Now, the goal isn't to massively bulk up, but it is to be strong, fast, and durable. Whether it's being able to power up hills, sprinting out of corners on the bike, or being able to hold my form late on in a run. Strength makes it all easier. So, here is how my off-season training looks like from week to week at the minute. It is built around maintaining endurance, improving power, and actually getting stronger. My last race was 2 weeks ago, so following some low intensity recovery style training, I'm ready to get back into it. I'm now hitting 3 strength sessions, 2 full body sessions, and 1 accessory and core focused lift. Each workout is built around compound lifts like deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, pull-ups and rows, starting around the 8 to 12 rep range and gradually progressing to lower reps and higher loads to build that proper strength. Swimming is sticking at 3 sessions per week, and the focus for these sessions is pretty simple. 1 strength focus session, thinking the use of paddles, pull buoys, and using resistance. 1 speed focus session, shorter intervals focused on, yes, a bit of power, but more so technique at speed. And then 1 aerobic endurance session focused on keeping that form under fatigue. Cycling again is 3 times a week and follows a similar structure. 1 strength ride focusing on low cadence and high torque work. 1 speed/cadence session, which is focusing on a higher RPM and just promoting leg turnover. And then finally, 1 aerobic endurance ride, starting at about 90 minutes to 2 hours and maybe gradually progressing this on, depending on fatigue levels. Running is a little bit lower, as this is typically where most fatigue and injury can come from. Therefore, I'm only running twice a week, with 1 easy run with strides to practice some leg turnover and focusing on running form and efficiency, and then 1 more aerobic endurance style, so a little bit longer, again to maintain that endurance. Now, I do plan to progress this and include brick sessions, but right now it's not top priority. It's important to note that in this training block, every session has a purpose and nothing is just a filler. The goal is to stay consistent, stay sharp, and ultimately come out this block faster, stronger, and healthier than I was at the start. To support all this training and actually build strength, nutrition and recovery is key. And I'm now approaching them as just as important as the workouts itself. Right now, I'm aiming for 2,800 calories per day, and then adding anything I burn through my training on top of that. That means some days might be over 4,000 calories. The goal with this approach is to maintain a small calorie surplus to help me gain a little bit of weight sustainably and productively to support muscle mass gains. Therefore, I will be tracking my weight and trying to keep this at roughly a 1 pound or half a kilo weight increase per week. My calorie intake will be mostly spread around 5 meals per day, with each meal containing some form of protein, helping me to hit my target of 150 grams of protein per day. This is vital for recovery and muscle growth. Also emphasizing recovery is 1 full rest day each week. This is where training will be limited to some mobility and stretching work. The goal is really to let my body recover and prepare myself for the next week of training ahead. This is something I previously neglected, and so I'm excited to see the difference it makes in my training consistency and quality. So it seems a pretty simple formula. Eat enough, recover well, and your body will respond. The final thing I want to touch on is mindset. And this will be a big focus of my off season. I'm not chasing numbers or trying to hold race fitness year round. I'm now shifting my mind to playing the long game. Every session is designed to support the training ahead, and it's no longer about just burning calories or ticking a box. It is about trusting the process, knowing that real adaptation comes from smart, intentional work, not junk volume or having the mindset of doing more just for the sake of it. And finally, I'm leaning into my weaknesses, things I've avoided: strength, speed, power. The weaknesses that held me back last season are now front and center. That is how I'll grow, and that is how I'll show up next season, not just more fit, but more resilient and determined to pursue success. Now, I aim to give an update of my training at least once a month. So please let me know what you'd like to see included in this, whether it's nutrition or training related. And please let me know if you have any questions or advice down below. And as always, thank you for watching.